everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week is Bradley Ellis,
Yoshi,
Michael Damiani, and Brandon Jones.
Yoshi, I guess.
Yoshi, I guess.
You know.
Jones, give me a legit Yoshi impression.
Give you a Yoshi impression?
Yeah,
I can't be Damiani's.
Does that have to be accurate? No, doesn't. Like, Damiani's is insanely accurate. Oh, okay, wow.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, Yoshi.
I can't believe Mario's bonking him on the head.
Yoshi.
I think a bonk is kind. A bonk is like, that's a bonk. This is a full right-hand curve.
No, it's a bonk.
This is a complete extension.
It's a bonk.
It
It's
doesn't
not
look
a
like a
complete
bonk.
extension. He doesn't wind up, Jones.
He swings, though. It's a swing.
It's a
There's depth
bong.
to it.
Brad, what is your goal this week?
In my tradition, or my new goal being a good boy, not swearing.
Ooh. Nice. Bradley Ellis, good boy.
Good boy.
Michael Damiani, your goal this week.
I'm gonna finish this water.
Okay. Brandon Jones.
So disappointing.
To not burp.
Ooh. I don't think you're going to do it.
I don't think I'm going to either.
Jones is a
But
gassy man.
We generally do them. I want a legit challenge this week.
My goal this week is to give the audience no indication that I'm sick. Let's begin. Corrections music, please. NPD is National Purchase Diary. That's the second time we've had this correction. Let's all repeat it.
National Purchase Diary.
And that's what it used to mean. It doesn't mean that anymore. Right now, it is
That's what happens
just
when you
NPD.
rotate guests.
Yeah.
The next two guests go, I don't know.
You can't put the WWE 2K18 loot boxes. Oh, you can't buy them with real money. And the unlockable pieces are only for career mode. In parentheses, career mode sucks anyway.
Oh,
I
what?
love corrections.
Who
like
did
that?
that?
Apparently it's bad, Brad.
What?
Apparently WWE
Man, that
2K18
sucks.
is bad.
Feels bad, man.
Data miners didn't find GameCube controller compatibility. Someone on Twitter plugged the Wii U GameCube adapter into the Switch dock, plugged in a controller, and got it working. It's not data miners, just somebody trying stuff out. Many people were very upset I didn't bring up Horizon Zero Dawn when we talked about new single-player IP. I was talking about third-party new single-player IP.
Oh, okay.
Because I made the case Sony can lose money, and everybody who brought up Horizon Zero Dawn, much attitude. Nobody was nice about that correction. Everyone was like, excuse me, Horizon Zero Dawn?
Or
It's
did
like,
they
no,
send you
I'm talking about third party.
They send you an audio clip?
Yeah, they did. They sent me little clips, and I had to go on SoundCloud and listen. Excuse me. Wasn't fun. Was not fun. And corrections music, please. And now the corrections music is over. I still had to make another correction on top of that, but this one's slightly more serious because I wanted to make it very clear about why I didn't talk about NeoGAF last week. It wasn't so people don't get their feelings hurt. NeoGAF is bad now. NeoGAF, don't go there. It wasn't because of that. It was simply a disinterest in discussing any of the particulars about that or any of the consequences. Whatever. That is what that was. I didn't mean to be flippant to the people who it is a big deal to. Simply, this is the Easy Eyes podcast, and I like to talk about video games mostly, and that is just a forum that's no fun anymore. Okay. Is that okay? Did I nail that or no?
Sure.
Didn't stick
It's your
the
show,
landing?
man.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's always the issue when it comes to what we're going to talk about or not. Is like we don't want to talk about something out of obligation.
Yes.
Kind of like we're all kind of forced to come up with an opinion. It needs to be something though, like we're eager to talk about this.
Yeah.
And I think that general panel. Just speaking for myself, I'm not really interested in. I don't have a lot to add to that. I'm not the person to ask. I guess that might be what it is.
Yeah.
That there are people better qualified.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah, that's our opinion,
Bye.
basically. See ya. Yeah, that is it. If you're curious what the Easy Allies opinion is, it's see ya. Okay. We are recording on Monday, October 20th. What, Brad?
No, 30th.
30th.
Oh my goodness. I made that
It's All
mistake
Hallows Eve,
5
Kyle.
times.
Yeah.
5
It's
times I made that
spooky
mistake.
day.
And here's the thing.
Cloudy. It was real hot this week, and a nice cool fog has rolled in.
Coming
over
up
Los
Millhouse
Angeles.
right now.
It is a creepy day. I want to prepare everyone in the podcast right now. If I'm looking a little fervent, it is because I need to get this podcast done within an hour. That's our rough deadline on this one. Jones tapping his wristwatch already.
Judge Judy.
Yeah, is that what she does?
Yeah.
Who watches Judge Judy?
It's just an infamous gif of her.
Dude, yeah, when it was blowing up.
okay.
Yeah.
Table.
Come on.
When Judge Judy was
I'm memeing
blowing
over here.
up. My favorite way to start a podcast.
Games announcements is.
Games announcements. We have many today because today was a day of Sony's Paris Games Week press conference. And we'll definitely get into Rank the Significance, of course. But I just want to make it clear off the top, we're not only talking about Sony games. Many of the games announced today are for multiple platforms, are not exclusives. But before we even get to Rank the Significance, There's one game that was announced today that is a Sony exclusive that would have won Rank the Significance easily, that I'm very, very excited about.
Loco Roco 2.
Loco Roco 2. Now, I love the colors. So, there's a new game called Ghost of Tsushima. Woo!
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
Brad.
This worked out. This worked out.
With you, dude. Brad, describe this game. I've never heard of
Dude,
this.
I don't even know. Like, we didn't even see much gameplay. It just showed like beautiful countrysides in feudal Japan.
Feudal Japan.
It was giving me the Onimusha and Tenchu vibes, Jones, that we need. Both
at the
combined.
same time?
Same time.
Yeah.
Little bit of Neo in there?
Yeah.
I'll take it all. I want
It
all
was
of it.
beautiful too. Wow,
Yes.
the game looked great.
Yeah.
It's Sucker Punch, man.
And it's Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
We've been wondering what
They've been
Sucker Punch has been up to, and then just boom, here it is. Here's our game. Great reveal
Just watch
for
the
it.
trailer. Just watch it.
Yeah, I highly recommend anybody just watch that trailer. Listen to the voice acting, the dialogue. Just look at just everything you can see in there. You do get brief snippets of gameplay. Where we are hopping from a rooftop and killing someone.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
And what
about.
do we do? Do we throw like a firebomb at a horse? That part's unclear to me.
It's still cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, so that was the big reveal of today.
Corrections next week. We did throw a fireball at that horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next correction.
Firebomb, I said. but
Firebomb, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not unlikely. I should have watched the trailer slowly leading into this. Yeah, Jones, what do you think about this trailer?
I thought it was great. It was very story focused. I like that they set up a really nice calm pace right off the top. Definitely showing like this is what our engine looks like. This is what the environments look like. I thought it was really interesting starting with the environments, like starting to show like look how beautiful this countryside is. Look at these locations you're going to be visiting, so that when we start getting into story stuff, then it looks less like, oh, well, this is just a cutscene, and more like, oh man, some of these environments look accessible as well. Like these look like places I could go to. So I'm assuming him seeing some village he's close to, or maybe his close, loved ones getting wiped out, or it seems like it's some kind of classic revenge tale. Awesome setup of a villain, seeing him, having him. I love when it's like a war of wits, where it's not just kind of like, I'm more powerful than you. I think there's a time and place for that, but this just seems so much more personal. And then just a little tease of gameplay to show that like this isn't just, again, these are presumably maybe pre-rendered, but like this is what this game is going to look like essentially. And then just a little taste of like speed, which I was not expecting. I thought it was going to be with Neo and Absolver and a lot of like kind of standoff games now, even like Souls, that kind of like, okay, we're gonna kind of juke a little bit before we actually really get into fighting.
Yeah.
But we saw a little stealth there.
Will we even have a dodge roll? Who knows?
A little hint at supernatural
hope so.
elements.
Damiani, I think that video games lack great villains. And one thing that excites me about this trailer in particular is the villain setup. This idea of this great power, this guy who says, I've learned your language, I know which villages to save and which ones to burn. I like the setup for a bad guy in the reveal trailer. What do you think? Are you impacted at all by the characters that were revealed today?
Thinking about it, I mean, I thought it was cool at the time
Okay.
when the trailer happened.
But you're already over it.
Thinking more, no, it's not that. Thinking more about it, who would talk like that in that moment?
Bad guys!
A psychopath.
Bad guys!
I mean, it's totally played up for the drama effect there. Like, is that like no bad guy's gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna sit here and lecture you for like. That's like Hollywood.
It's like every video game.
Yeah,
They do that.
yeah,
Every
that's
video
what it is.
game.
It's like too stereotypical for my liking. Even though the dialogue was cool, I was
He
like,
had his
oh,
face right next to
come
the
on.
protagonist's
Like,
face.
I was like, this is so. I was like about like thinking about it now. Like it makes me laugh a little bit. I'm sure in the context of the game, it's gonna be like a very powerful moment. You're like, ooh, he got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the motivation for the game. And in the first viewing of the trailer, it was pretty cool. But being brutally honest here, just like thinking about it now, like it kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Thinking, I was like, yeah. I hope the game has good characters in it. I'm kind of like, I got the impression a little bit, the vibe of the trailer is that maybe it's not just revenge. Maybe you go to the dark side, like the whole imagery of you fading into the fire, kind of like making a deal with the devil to like rise up.
You are shedding your samurai ways.
Maybe you are not quite the good guy. You're either gonna be a vigilante warrior for justice, where you're doing what like the official people can't do anymore because everyone's been subjugated, or you're going to the dark side. Basically, it's like, yeah, we're tearing up.
I'll tell you what's
everything.
gonna happen.
Okay.
A samurai.
You're Batman, Brad.
Samurai
You're Batman.
abandons his honor, becomes ninja assassin.
So becomes a Ronin.
It's a demon mask, right? Like he's in. He's all in on it.
so he's becoming a Ronin.
Well, he's a ghost. Like
a
he considers
masterless
samurai.
He considers himself dead, and it's like, no. This is literally the dead
Oni?
coming back.
Yep. I do want to bounce this back to that discussion about single player IP, like a whole new franchise, starting off, kicking
Hell
off a
yeah.
whole new
That's what I'm
franchise.
talking
It's never easy, but it is easier for a first party game. It's easier for Sony to put out a game called
'Cause they got the
Ghost
backing.
of Tsushima. You know, that's not a mass appeal title.
Not yet.
Not yet, and maybe 2 years from now that'll be a popular thing. But yeah, I want to ask the panel if you're sold, if you think this could be a big success like Horizon, or if there's not enough there to get attached to yet.
Yes.
Yes,
It will be big.
It
I
will
will
be
say it'll
big.
be big. Even judging off Neo. Like, Neo was big.
Neo's big.
This is first party Sony,
Yep.
Sucker Punch, great studio, new IP. Yes.
Yeah. Brad, I'd like for the panel to have opposing opinions, and I'd like to debate this.
No.
But no, this is a
No,
home
yeah.
run, man. I'm so excited about the game. I'm so excited about its tone, its visuals, its writing. There's very little not to be excited with this game at this point. We'll see it running. We'll see the actual game itself. And maybe we'll discuss this later. No release date, which is a common theme.
Settle in, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, and so I wonder if it'll even be a cross-platform game someday, meaning PS4, PS5.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. We have other games to talk about, other announcements. It is now time for Rank the Significance. Where do I start? Should I do this alphabetically?
Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Blood and Truth was announced today. This is a PSVR game. This one is exclusive to.
Bet lost. Right there. Or goal lost right there.
Laughing at your misery. I'm sorry,
This
pal.
is from Sony's London studio. It's like it's kind of, we got spy vibes because it's first person. We had a gun with a silencer.
We were dropping some little, bugs there, stuff, or bombs and stuff. He was planting some stuff on stuff.
climbing in vents.
Sticking items onto objects.
Yeah, sneaking
Fairly
around.
spy-like.
Yeah. It looks like you can control this with 2 move controllers. You can dual wield weapons, but it also seems like that's your movement. It seems like on rails, where the player was crawling through the vents and moving.
Yeah,
one
that was a
move
highlight of
controller
the
in front
trailer
the
for
other.
me.
Highlight of the trailer. Damiani loved that part.
Yeah, it was a pretty good part.
He was whooping at that part. He was excited for it. That's where that is. So let me actually count how many we have. Would you put that in the top half or the lower half, just off the top of your head, of the significance?
Lower half.
Yeah. I think it was interesting seeing the London heist come to fruition, seeing like what that eventually was, and I think it's got some hype from people that demoed that probably more than once, because I remember that from several events that kind of saw the proof there. That were like, I'm not sure about this VR, but I remember playing that at an event. That was really fun.
Yeah.
And seeing a longer interesting, because weren't like the hands separate from your body? Weren't they just kind of floaty hands in the demo?
Yes.
Whereas like you're actually locked in, kind of John Woo style with this. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that works, because typically, like in Star Trek Bridge Crew, every time I load in, my arms are like kind of like whoa, kind of like reset everything. So
yeah.
I wonder how smooth that's gonna be.
I had in London Heist a very uncomfortable conversation in a pub where this guy comes to talk to you, and you're like shorter or taller than he is, and so you're like resyncing to be the right size. He's like, "Oh, you've got a deal for you," and you're just like, he's like got a cigar and stuff, but like you can touch him with your cigar. Anyway, let's move on. Bow to Blood. This was announced for PSVR. Tribe Toy is the studio. It's a space boat combat game. Basically, you're in space boats, and it's a lot like the Assassin's Creed boat game, Skull and Bones.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. It's like you're shooting off your bow, but you also have a handgun to shoot if guys are coming up close on your ship. Things like that. That's a PSVR game.
Oh.
Yep. I have a feeling the PSVR games are not going to be on the top half of the significance. We have
This
11 total
one
titles.
ranks pretty low for me.
Yeah.
I can
Yes.
admit.
Yeah. Concrete Genie. This is a strange game. This is we had basically we're a kid with a magic paintbrush, and we use our magic paintbrush Brad, you're looking at me like you don't remember this already.
I don't.
Oh wow.
You use your magic paintbrush to customize your own personal monsters that you and greenery and like a moon on the side of walls. You're making graffiti that comes to life. Jones, help me describe this to Brad.
But what I thought was neat about it, Brad, is it interacts with each other. So it's not only like one thing was the door needed electricity, so he created a guy, and then the guy powered the thing, and that went over. But it was neat
More
because it
interested
wasn't.
now.
But it was neat because it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing, and then I'm locked in place. Like it was clearly like a character that was like, oh, I'm gonna go over and charge this thing now.
Yeah.
And then after the gate opened, he like waved to you and watched you like walk by as he went.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And so you could see as he was like backtracking through the area he had made, all these art pieces he had done are still animating and still moving around. And I kind of got like a painting in Harry Potter world vibe. Like maybe they leave those buildings and go to others or interact together.
Yeah, Jones sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's at a basketball court. There's a monster drawn behind the hoop. He sinks one, and then the monster applauds him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah. The weird thing, Brad, is that the villains of this game are bullies. They're just regular human bullies who like push you.
Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever.
Okay. All right, Brad's cool with that.
Makes me think
whatever.
the game's all in the kid's head.
Well, it is. It's about his imagination, man.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be that scene at the end where it's like just the
Oh, no.
paintings and stuff, like the graffiti drawings and stuff, and he
Unfinished Swan.
yeah, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like, oh, sad. It's gonna have a sad ending.
Nothing is sadder to me than the moment of Inside Out where the imaginary friend dies. That's like the saddest thing in the world to me.
Wow.
What's Inside Out?
Hope you've seen that one, folks.
Delete. Erasing out from memory. Never seen it.
Yeah.
Jones, just bleep it out, man.
Well, there we go. The spoiler cast.
Guacamelee 2 was announced today.
Yeah.
Sequel to Guacamelee from Drinkbox. I mean, it looks very similar to Guacamelee in style, assets, chickens even. Basically, I think the only element that was shown new is a runbow style. In the game, I think you pressed like one of the R buttons to switch dimensions.
Oh, okay.
In this game, they were kind of like switching for you in waves.
Did the
What's
first one
up,
have
Damiani?
4-player co-op?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I don't remember.
Yeah, it did. We played it. We played that 4-player.
did, yeah.
It was bad to do with 4 people.
But really fun, too.
Yeah, but really fun. Just chaotic, man.
Yeah.
Just like people swapping dimensions and just
Yeah.
like, wait, come on, wait.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
So eventually you just let the good person go
Nice.
ahead. I guess there was some story to the reveal trailer. We saw the protagonist.
Oh, sure.
He was eating guacamole on his lazy boy.
Guacamole.
Yeah,
Guacamole is the
yeah.
Guacamole.
Yeah.
You should trademark that though, Kyle. It's a
They
recipe
should, yeah.
Right now.
I'm going to trademark the title of a video game.
No, but for food purposes.
for food purposes. I own this.
Yeah, not competing in the video game space. You'll be good. Hogue law.
But I thought it was a really nice, safe game to launch with. Like I think the Guacamelee 1 had a really good public sentiment, and might possibly be a game that people had good thoughts about, but never, like myself, like never actually got around to playing. So having that game come out is like not a huge surprise, but a warm, just easy way to just like easy win. I think.
Yeah.
To kick it off.
Erica.
Live action.
I've seen some people on social media today since this announcement that have been like waiting for this game for a long time.
Excuse me?
They're like, I saw this game demoed like 3 years ago, and I've been waiting.
Oh.
Finally, Erica. And I got to admit, what I saw today did not look that.
Finally, Erica?
I think the full motion video might have been the only thing out of this. I was like,
I finally waited to wipe that tear.
Yes.
Jeez.
So this is a live action video game
Yeah.
in 2017.
Laserdisc, baby.
Laserdisc. Yeah, this is PlayLink. It's part of Sony's PlayLink initiative
Oh, yeah.
to control games with your cell phones. And I mean, yeah, the first interactivity that's shown is to wipe away Erica's tear with your own thumb. No.
Not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, what was it you saying, Kyle? The scenarios, because it's live action, because it's
Yeah.
film. You said the thing with the little, like the box, the letter opener. You're like, if you choose slash,
or trust are the two options.
and then you're like, if you choose slash, it's just gonna grab you by the hand and be like, no, you should really take this trust.
I
letter."
doubt they're gonna let us slash that guy.
Yeah.
And like blood comes out of his throat and everything. Maybe. Erica, I'll be impressed if we can slash him.
Yeah, that'd be more fun.
it seems like an interactive movie. Like if you were gonna sell that, and I know we've tried that before, but I think like what Detroit, Beyond Human has kind of evolved from is like kind of meeting like halfway, maybe even a little more in the video game sense, between a film and an interactive video game. Where like this really seems like, no, we'll make an interactive movie, and it just feels like 10 years too late. Or
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something something they forgot to announce also with this game.
Yeah.
Explaining like why the decisions are different from other. Even something like a Telltale game, I think, just looks a little more complex than this.
Yeah. For some reason, the live action seems like a limiter to me. It makes it less interesting in a way. But I mean, there's some novelty to that to be
Sure.
live action.
Reminds me of Sega CD games.
Astute listeners will notice that I've already gone out of alphabetical order. I'm trying my hardest.
I think the other thing too is like when you have Telltale, you have like voiceover performances that you can cut up in all sorts of different ways. You have the artist, conceiving the character and drawing it, animating it. You can tweak those to really bring out expression in their face.
Yeah.
If you have bad acting the day you shoot that video, you're done. You got bad acting in your videos.
It didn't seem like bad acting, to be fair. I didn't seem like it.
But there wasn't any dialogue. Is there not going to be dialogue in the actual
there's
game? Is
dialogue,
everyone
baby.
just like staring at each other?
There's dialogue.
That
there.
better be an emotional
I
tear
think-
wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once people start talking, we'll see if it holds up.
What if the game begins and ends with you wiping away that tear, and at the end it really means something to you?
I wonder if her story was an inspiration for that, because they definitely were like, finish her story. They like say that in the trailer.
Oh yeah, touch her world.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nah, no thanks.
Live action's coming back.
The Gardens Between. This is an environmental puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you have a small environment, a little island, and it looks like you solve problems. One button, no dialogue, two buddies, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like going
premise of
around
this
that
game.
tiny island, yeah. Like time warp in it or something like that. You can change time.
Brad, totally forgot that you have
Yeah.
time controls to solve these puzzles. Yeah.
Yeah, looks alright.
Okay.
Looks alright.
Yeah.
What's interesting is a lot of these studios I looked up. This one's Voxel Agents. Their last game was Train Conductor World, which is just like a mobile train game. where you're a
So
train
this is like
conductor.
their biggest game?
Yeah, it's cool to me to see mobile studios go like, you know
Sure.
what, let's try one. Let's try an indie game.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we have another one of those later, which I think is cool. Let's just do that one next, actually. Ore. O-U-R-E, Ore.
Alright.
This is you get to be a child who transforms into a dragon. It's like you're up in the sky. Go ahead, Damiani.
I was gonna say Jones, I think nailed it. Shades of like Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
More of the dodging than the shooting.
Yes,
They don't
there's
like really any dodging, just kind of like you got to get somewhere specific and then do a thing when you get there, but lots of dodging.
actually explicitly they call it non-violent. You
Ah.
won't be killing a thing in this game, which is like what I like to do as a dragon, but it's fine. I can just fly.
Yeah.
Because they said
Man.
when we did in our reactions, like the premise is world governed by Titan, these giant machines, and they've just started malfunctioning.
Yeah.
You're just trying to repair them.
We're just repairing some
You're a
titans.
repair person.
Non-violent.
It's on a
Hey, we're
job.
not killing nobody. We're just repairing some
Yeah.
titans.
We're an engineer dragon.
This one is from Heavy Spectrum Limited is the name of the studio, who did Shadow of the Beast remake last year, but also a bunch of weird mobile games.
Oh, he's like a definite style
Yeah.
from that company.
But yeah, it was just like Boolean Blast was like one of their games where it's just like matching money up. It's like, whoa. And then it's just like, let's make games. Let's make some games.
They got some money maybe now?
Yeah, I like that.
Wow.
The Hong Kong Massacre. This is from a studio called Vresky. It's their first game. This is a top-down, stylish. It's, I'm just gonna say it's like Hotline Miami, except more gritty, more realistic, and had cutscenes that were
Live
kinda-
action.
Those were not live action.
I think they were.
No way, Jones.
I think they were.
Oh no, I'm gonna hand you the prove it ticket, dude. How are we gonna solve this?
I'll bring up the trailer right now.
Okay, I'm handing you the prove it ticket.
Here we go.
Anyway, strong story emphasis on a twin stick shooter. Brad, did you watch this trailer?
No, but what you said to me
Dang,
sounds
I'm sorry.
cool.
Yeah,
I missed
looks
it.
cool. Damiani, what'd you think of this?
I think they look okay. Initially, I mistook it for another game. I was like surprised.
Oh.
I thought it was the game that had like the amazing art style, but everyone got really upset when they found out who the creator was.
The Last Light is what I think.
There you go. Yeah. I thought it was that. I was like, oh, here we go. But then everyone's like, no, it's not that. And then I saw like the twin stick shooter mechanics. Like, oh, this is not it.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
something different.
This is like what's the John Woo game?
Stranglehold?
Like think of Stranglehold, think of flipping over tables, two guns.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
But top down like
Yeah,
Hotline Miami.
you said like Hotline Miami. Some
Yeah.
people saying like Max Payne-ish.
Captain Rouge Production. That must be the pubs. All right, so Jones says that is live action, dude. No, Jones.
All right, I'm gonna
But
Mm.
The feet. I just remember the feet. I thought that was live action.
so Jones thought the feat was live action. There's no conclusive evidence one way or the other.
No. I'm
Okay, Jones was officially tripping.
Oh, that looks kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And that was just announced today.
Cool.
10 Tennis World Tour.
Yeah.
Boom.
Ooh.
So here's the thing about this tennis game. This is Studio Breakpoint is the studio, their first game, but it includes Topspin people who worked on Topspin, including Pierre Andre, who's the game designer of this game, but was also the game designer of Topspin 3 and 4.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look fun, man.
And it actually turns out this was not the announcement of that game, but it's like the reveal of the game.
Okay.
I saw an
Okay,
interview
gotcha.
from like back in June or July where it was announced.
Again, it's tricky because we're watching it in the press conference, and I think they labeled it as the debut. As the
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like,
I
we're
think the
basing that
trailer
off what
says
they're telling us.
announcement
Yeah.
in it. Yeah. 30 tennis players are going to be in it. Yeah, so somebody's like going out there and like, let's make a tennis game again.
try
And it's
it.
not somebody, it is the Topspin talent. And so yeah, that is a game that is.
Yeah, it looked fun.
Yeah. I've never played Topspin. Compare Topspin to Virtua Tennis. Can anybody do that?
I can't.
Okay.
He asked me 6 years ago, and I probably could have.
Well,
So I had
Okay.
to review both of them side by side. They came out like the same time in the last Topspin.
Showdown.
Damiani,
Virtua
get up in the
Tennis?
mic.
Get up on that mic.
So you had to review Topspin
One
and
of the
Virtua
top spins
Tennis.
and then one of the last virtual tennis games, and they came out kind of in close proximity to each other.
Who assigned those to you?
Daniel Bloodworth.
Yeah,
No,
did you say like,
that was-
yeah, I'm a
I might,
tennis
I
guy?
might have been. I reviewed one, and Brooks Huber might have reviewed
other
the other
Huber.
one. Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but they came out close to the same time, and I remember playing both because I wanted to compare them, and I just can't remember much about them anymore.
In the interview, which again I had to like speed read, they did say there's going to have online and offline modes and like a career mode and everything like that. So it sounds cool. It sounds like this is a game that just people wanted it to exist. You know what I mean? Like ukulele. You know, it's that kind of thing.
I just think I would go less of the realism route with the advertising and more the fun route. Look at what Hot Shots did coming back. Look at Everybody's Golf. Look at the success that they've had with people on PlayStation 4 being like, oh yeah, some weird sports game that I might not be into. I might not necessarily like golf, but this game seems like fun.
Yep.
But if they're focusing like this is the realistic,
Dude,
tennis sim you've always wanted.
I'm
like,
kind of
I-
into a super realistic tennis sim.
I
That
think
could
it
be
could be both.
fun.
I think
Yeah.
it could. I think it could be both. I think
But,
the realism part of it's apparent.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to try to get people that might not immediately be drawn to a game like this, give me some weird modes, give me weird outfits, give me
Sure.
I think just to get more mass appeal.
I just remembered in this conversation a 12th game I forgot to write down.
Ooh.
Onrush.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Onrush is a game from Codemasters, but most directly, Evolution Studios was the name of the team that they ingested. The people who made most recently Drive Club, but before that, it is Motorstorm. Whew, I'm getting those. I'm
Motorstorm,
pulling them
yeah.
all out of my cubbies. So anyway, when Evolution was shut down by Sony, Codemasters said, we'll take you. And they took many people from that team, and they have revealed Onrush, a very arcadey looking racing game, showing like buggies with jet boosters, somebody doing stunts,
Motorcycles?
yes, off dirt bikes and stuff.
Yeah, they're just
So yeah,
in the air
lots of
going,
Yes.
definite Motorstorm vibe there.
Yeah.
It's easier to dodge things in the environment and zigzag between cars if you're on a motorcycle. But obviously, you take a truck head on with a motorcycle and you're toast.
Yeah, colorful environments, tubes. I don't know if you could grind the rails, but I saw rails and I wanted to
I would
grind.
love tubes and giant caps.
Lava tubes?
Tubes. Like bullet
Lava
points.
tubes.
You flip over the box. Tubes. Yeah. Wow, I might put that really high. Actually, I can't believe I forgot that.
That looks fun, yeah.
Onrush looks very, very good.
Just the energy coming off that trailer was really great.
Yeah. Megalith. This is for PSVR. This is a first-person hero shooter.
Yeah.
Disruptive Games, their first project. This is another VR game. The story was demonstrated, the gameplay was not. We got a gameplay view where we saw hands.
Yeah.
We saw we are a titan, we're a giant creature who wants to compete to become a god. But we just saw our like monster hands, and then we find out afterward that it is a shooter game, and we did not see a
like,
single
whoa.
shot.
little early to announce this game, I think.
Sure.
Little early.
Yeah, you're right. If
Not a
you're-
lot going on here.
If you're a shooter, you gotta show shooting in your trailer. I really do believe
Yeah.
that.
There's like a cave and a thing in a cave.
yeah.
And he busted out,
like-
right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
oh. Ooh.
That's how he feels about the trailer.
Yeah.
That might be it. Did I just go through all these? Yeah. It was not in alphabetical order, but we got through all of them. So let's go back to the top. Erica, out of 12 games, where's the significance of Erica?
way down.
Pretty low for me.
Out of 12? We
Yeah.
went through 12 whole games?
Yeah.
Pretty low for me.
Yeah, super low. I can't. You might be on the bottom, Erica. Sorry.
Do we want to put in number 12 for now?
The spot above Bow to Blood.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
with the
we got
ships.
Wait, why? Okay.
Oh my god.
Man, you don't really like my
I'm good.
decision, dang.
Why is Bout of Blood worse than Erica? Less significant, excuse me. Less significant.
It looks
It's not
so
worse.
incredibly boring from that trailer. That trailer was really bad for that game.
Why? What made it bad?
Even like the action sequences just seemed dull. The effects for some of the like the shooting mechanics, like the bullets or whatever going out, looked really bland and it didn't look well animated. It just screamed budget, and the VO to it was so dull.
I will.
And
I'll absolutely
Monados?
agree with that. The
Yeah.
VO and music choice seemed off point. They seemed not to match it well.
That's why I love that Sea of Thieves trailer, man. That first with the fans playing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the vibe we need to get with this game. We're like, this is just a silly ship game where you're running around and having fun with friends. But it really tries to sell itself like, get ready for the next edge of your seat
Well, I think-
multiplayer experience.
I
And,
think
like,
the VO direction was kind of like, get on the thing, and here's
Yeah.
this. You have a gun to shoot. It's kind of like that delivery, which is kind of like, who is attracted to that? So we're putting that number 12.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Bout of Blood, number 12.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
proof,
Erica,
proof of
number
concept
11?
for Skull and Bones.
Okay, so
definitely Erica 11.
I mean, let's do some more PSVR games, some more VR games, then Megalith. Where do we put that?
Very low.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Actually,
Bout of-
that
dude, Bout of
wait.
Blood's ahead of Mega.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
Megalith, Megalith didn't even show off a game, so that's gonna go to
better
12.
for Erica all the time. She keeps
Yeah.
moving up.
Woo, Erica,
Okay,
number
Erica's
10.
officially
Erica's
number
enjoying all
10.
these buys.
Top 10.
Okay, what do we do with Concrete Genie?
Ooh,
I like this.
That's
I-
high.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
say.
really?
Yeah, I'd say 5 or 6.
Wow.
Let's keep it in the
Ooh,
top
I like
half
5.
for now.
That sounds
we'll
nice.
just keep it in the top half. How about Aura? The dragon game, dragon flying game. Oh, you know what I didn't mention is that was just Shadow Drop. That came out today. You can go play that today.
Oh.
I think if we're talking today, if we're talking significance of
Yeah,
April
it helps.
or of October 30th, 2017, I
boosts
think
you, right?
You can get it right now. That's pretty,
Couple ranks up.
That's pretty significant.
Okay, Guacamelee 2. That's got to be pretty high,
That's
right?
pretty high for
that's
me.
Pretty significant. Oh, you know what I skipped? Spelunky 2.
Spelunky
super
2.
fair.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kyle.
yeah, I skipped it. So it's
Trending like crazy right now.
Yeah, that's high.
Zero experience with the first Spelunky, so I can't.
Oh, it's fun,
yeah.
comment
Jones.
on how great.
Spelunky 2 is weird in its reveal. We didn't see any gameplay. We saw story stuff. We are playing as the child of one of the protagonists of
Yeah.
Spelunky. We are going to the moon. That's almost enough of a premise for a Spelunky 2.
Yeah,
I think
that's
we'll get
enough
it
for me.
immediately. Yeah. Okay, so let's figure that out right now. Where's Spelunky 2?
2 or 3.
I'm
I'm
going-
not sure what the one is, but I would at least put it at. 2
I'm
or 3.
putting it at a 2 right now.
Okay, Spelunky 2 is number 2. How about Onrush, which I think is another contender?
Oh boy, these are tough. Onrush and the Dragon game and the painting.
I wasn't super hyped on that Dragon game. Gotta be honest.
All right,
All right.
Wow.
and man, I would.
Can we put Onrush number 1? I mean, that's what we're fighting for right now.
No,
Against Spelunky-
definitely Onrush is not one.
Okay, is Guacamelee number 1?
What else we get? There's got to be. What else is number 1? There's got to be something. What else jumps out at you?
Tennis
number one?
World Tour?
I would put
Boy,
Spelunky,
it's
over
Spelunky. Yeah,
Guacamole.
no, it's Spelunky. Spelunky's
Yeah, I
number
put
1.
Spelunky's
Spelunky over
number one?
Guacamole.
I
Spelunky
think
number
you're right.
1.
And Spelunky is what they ended their pre-show with.
Yeah.
I think that
They
was
knew.
wise. I think
They knew.
I think they knew. Okay, Spelunky number 1.
Guacamole number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Oof. Tennis 3.
Tennis over Onrush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a touch.
Damiani, do you agree with that? I gotta be honest
No.
with you, Jones. I don't agree with that.
Just because there are
Look
a
at
lot.
those trailers. Compare those two
On
trailers.
Yeah,
Rush.
I think maybe it's just me thinking that like there are a lot of racing experiences available on the PlayStation 4 right now. Whereas
Yes.
like getting a tennis game like this is cool in the genre.
Okay.
So relevance, significance in the genre, yes. Significance maybe against each other, no.
Brad, are you
It
sold?
beats it
Where do
out,
you stand
but-
on this, Brad?
This is a tough one,
Tennis or
man.
cool
This is,
racing
I know,
game?
this is really tough.
I mean, if I had the two in front of me, I would play Onrush, no question.
Yes,
First.
I would put
So,
Onrush slightly over
personally,
tennis.
yeah, for my
Okay.
tastes. But
I'm putting, yeah, you know what? It's just significance. We're just ranking significance. All right, so Tennis World Tour is number 4. We have the Gardens Between left. We have the Hong Kong Massacre left. We have Aura, and we have Concrete Genie. Oh, and we have Blood and Truth, the London heist-esque game.
I think,
The Hong Kong one looked cool to me. I like the Hong Kong one.
yeah, I think the significance is so tough because the graffiti one looks super interesting to me, but like
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It got actually a really big highlight in the press conference itself, right?
They believe in it.
Yeah, that was not part of the pre-show. They put that in the press
Just such
conference.
a great demo, you know, and like,
Yeah.
and really the Hong Kong to me was kind of repetitive. Like he jumped over a table at one point, so I thought that was neat. That was like
Yeah.
the only time in the trailer where it kind of escalated in
Yeah.
interest.
Uh-huh.
And really, the more I think about it, the London shoots kind of it just seems super on rails, and it's just kind of like an Evolved Time Crisis, like neat, but I don't know if
Evolved Time Crisis is highly appealing.
yeah.
Action.
Okay, so
But me looking at that game and being like totally, and me seeing the graffiti game and being like, whoa,
Graffiti game,
what's
then.
happening here?
yeah, there it is.
Graffiti game.
Number 5.
I don't want to steer this too much.
Concrete Genie. So is Aura next or is Blood and Truth next? Now we're in like this. We're in the middle section and we got some indies to handle. Somebody's got to be number
The shooter
9.
or the dragon game, Brad? You say you didn't like that dragon game.
Shooter game. I'd rather play a shooting game.
So it's more significant just because you'd rather
That's
play
what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's significant to me.
Damian, you've been way too quiet on this. Come on, man.
Yeah, and how about the Gardens Between, Damiani?
Ooh, yeah, that was.
Man, come on. Dual wielding in VR, that's got to be pretty fun.
It is fun.
But I'm
Cracking the
boy,
safe and everything.
I've played so many dual wielders.
Jones
in
has been
VR.
through it.
Must be nice, Jones. Must be nice.
I'm going with the dragon.
All right.
That was the first place many companies went to in VR. They're like, well, we could do that. We know at least. I mean, you played that. You played the zombie game. Remember they were coming.
I didn't
at you?
play that.
Bloodhaven?
Huber played
was
it.
Huber, yeah.
So are we doing Aura for number 6?
That's my vote.
I think it's interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Compared to
Okay.
a couple of shooters.
Okay.
Non-violent.
And then I would
Okay.
the Blood and Truth above the Hong Kong. Definitely.
And above the Gardens Between.
I would maybe put the Gardens between above Hong Kong too.
I would.
Hong Kong's just so one note, you know.
No.
Look at Brad.
I would go with that too, actually.
It's just so one note.
There could be some
that
sweet
could be a
puzzles in
dope
it.
note. That
Yeah.
could be a note I want to play.
Yeah.
For a long time, but
Why'd you call it a note? A dope note?
just one note. You just monotone. Just as kind of like.
It doesn't.
I didn't see the setup to the slow mo. We were always in slow mo, so I didn't get to see
Oh,
like,
you're talking
whoa,
Hong Kong,
that
yeah.
one moment was sweet. It was just
Yeah.
always like, goosh, 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 goosh. I'm like, okay,
All right. So let's put Gardens 7, Hong Kong 8, Blood and Truth 9. We cool with that?
Yes.
All right. Here is the final significance. Number 12, Megalith.
Sorry,
Hey, you're just insignificant.
nice hands.
Relatively. Bow to Blood, number 11. Number 10, Erica. Number 9, Blood and Truth. Number 8, The Hong Kong Massacre. Number 7, The Gardens Between. Number 6, Ore. Number 5, Concrete Genie. Number 4, Tennis World Tour. Number 3, Onrush. Number 2, Guacamelee 2. And number 1, Spelunky 2. And that is, of course, omitting Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Right.
Obvious number 1 right there. That'd be
Obvious number
too
one,
OP.
yeah. I mean, Minnie might say Spelunky 2 over Ghost
Yeah.
of Tsushima.
Not
That tennis
me.
game, I could see sliding around that list a little bit too.
Which
depending
way?
on-
Which way?
Down.
You think we overranked the tennis game?
Potentially. No, I like the list the way it is right now, but I could just see of the games on there. I think I would see most people being like, get that tennis game.
I think you explained it well, Jones. It's just a genre that's gone, and I think we have I think we like that. We like when a dead genre comes back from the old creators, and so we can find a way to make this work today.
I don't see a tennis game being announced today, and I'm like, well, there's that predictable trend.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, whoa, somebody must be really fired up about that game.
Tennis games are fun, man.
It's like Windjammers, it's just like a weird sports game I haven't played in a game that Sony's promoting heavily in a while. That worked out well for me with Windjammers and everybody's golf. So
Well, it sounds like it's podcast halftime.
Oh my god.
shuffling.
Jones, were you unprepared for podcast halftime?
Way unprepared. That's not even the sponsor right there.
This is a voice.
Jeez,
Did
man.
you just say that's a voice?
Take some
This is a voice.
Get some Dayquil.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of October. Last time of the month. iKeyless. Since 2002, iKeyless has specialized in replacement automotive keys and remotes. They can save you up to 75% off of dealerships' prices. Visit their updated website at iKeyless.com and use promo code EasyA at checkout for free shipping and an additional 17% off of your order. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information or check them out on their successful Kickstarter. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours, and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at www.hoaglaw.com. Iron Harvest, a real-time strategy game for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, currently in development at King Art Games. Join their community and help them bring the alternate reality of 1920 plus to life. Mango. Jigarbov Productions, who I actually did not get an update from.
Ooh.
I didn't check.
So we gotta read last week's again?
Yeah, I might have to maybe slip one in. I don't get. I haven't checked my email in the last couple hours, so maybe there is an update on there.
Yeah,
But
we're
I did
recording
not.
on Monday.
And it's early, so maybe didn't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get that tomorrow for the update, but maybe I'll tweet that one out. Thank you, Jigarbov, for those. I really appreciated it.
Yeah.
Jojo Dentco, your friendly automotive dent repair expert. If you are currently an EZA patron and are in the Denver metropolitan area, tweet at FastMower if you would like to have your minor door dings repaired free of charge. L. Thanis. All of these links are available in the description. A thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sponsors. I do want to get to love and respect. I know we're on a limited episode, but I don't want to stop talking about Sony's Paris Games Week press conference without talking about the lack of dates. Hard dates. And specifically, I want to talk about it's a dumb concept I did on a stupid video I made about game announcements as gumdrops, game announcements as incentives to own a console. Basically, I should have cross-referenced this, but like the Spider-Man trailer that you can see on YouTube prominently says PlayStation exclusive. And so any money they lose on that is worth it to Sony to say this is a PlayStation exclusive. Ghost of Tsushima, PlayStation exclusive. And so I want to know from the panel, and I'm genuinely curious about this, like if it matters to you that these don't have dates, if they're just kind of presented as reasons to own a console more than advertisements for those games themselves.
You like dates, Damiani?
Yeah. I mean,
Was it too soon for a lot of these announcements if they don't know the dates yet?
I mean, I do feel like there's a point where you need, it's a tricky thing to balance because you do need to fulfill that goal of touting your exclusives. Like
Yeah.
you need to have that out there,
Especially
they
so
need
close to the Xbox One X.
And they need to. I think they constantly need to be out there, but even more so now, yes, because Xbox One X is on the eve of its release.
Yeah.
They need to push as many of that exclusives as possible, saying, "Hey, we still have these," even if there's no date. To a person who's just like glimpsing at this, like, I need a quick decision on this. What should I go with Xbox One X?
Business-wise, it's the right call.
Yeah.
But
Of
isn't
course.
that annoying?
So personally, yeah, it is annoying because like every other kind of media that I consume, especially movies and,
Yeah.
and TV, they always put a date on stuff. Usually, at the very least, they put the year and like a quarter or like a season behind it. At the very
Yeah.
least, so it's like,
To be fair, for God of War, we got early 2018. But again, still, it's like,
that's like pushing it because that
Yeah.
still could be like the first half of 2018.
Yeah.
We assume it's Q1, but like it doesn't have to be that. That's not, like it's there's no like defined, like that lingo is not like defined very clearly in our industry. Like everyone else does, like spring 2018, or it'll come out in December of 2017.
Yeah.
Or they give a date for it, and we're all accustomed to that. Like, okay, we'll get like a specific day of that month or the actual month and day a little bit closer, and usually it's more ambiguous the further it's out, like 2 years or less, like about 2 year to like a year and a half gap is where you don't get something in movies usually. And then like when it's that within that year of that release, you have that date, you have that month and date, like, you know, like you get those pre-orders
and we
going
gotta say
stuff.
that, like, we get it's
Yeah.
not feasible. We know.
Oh, yeah.
We know that's not feasible for game developers, and we know they have to start advertising before they have dates. But I guess, Brad, are you frustrated as a PlayStation owner, or are you fine with it? You cool that, like, hey, those games
man,
will come out, man?
I mean, let me tell you, man.
Okay.
You know,
Tell me.
all the games I love
Yeah.
take like a decade to come out.
Yeah.
So at this point in my life, I am just numb to that, and I expect every game I love to take 5 years to come out.
Sure.
I mean, I'll tell you, I love when a game is announced and it comes out within a year at least. That's
Yeah.
like the best. That's what I always want. Gotta advertise that system though, baby.
You gotta
Gotta
advertise
sell it.
that system. Yeah.
Gotta sell it.
Jones, and here's the other weird element is I think part of us likes waiting. I think part of us as fans of video games love these trailers, love anticipation,
Yeah,
love looking
right
forward
there.
to something.
We enjoy the anticipation.
Yeah.
When Red Dead first got delayed, I was like, oh, bummer. Okay, it was a little far off. Like I wasn't like upset, but like once we got to the date, we're in it now. Like Red Dead was gonna happen right now. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh, if it was happening right
Reviewing
now.
Red Dead right now. With all of us just overworked and
Yeah.
and so I think some of these times these turn out to be blessings. I think it's also, I wonder if it's directly relatable to what type of games you like. Because if you're just like into sports games, you're just like into annual releases that you get all the time. Like maybe, that's not something generally you're accustomed to. And like Brad brings up a good point that like he follows a lot of Square Enix titles, and so it's just kind of used to that.
Yeah.
Like I'm like delays or something I'm used to as a Rockstar fan, and so it doesn't really get to me. Like I think that probably has a lot to do with being in the games media, having the jobs that we do.
Yeah.
That there's always something I'm not playing. There's always some game I'm late on absorbing when I should have. And so for every game I wish I was maybe playing right now ahead of its release, there's so many games I could be playing that I'm not, that I will never have time for. So it's kind of weird to be like, yeah, but that one game, just for me. I mean, but that's a weird thing. Dates don't really, because it's something I noticed too about you, Kyle, when we started Easy Allies, or when you started doing the podcast at GT, that you would like be right on top of new dates. Like a trailer would go by and I'd be like, great. You'd be like, release date. And I'm like, oh, was that? Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
but
and
like you're waiting for that date. You're
Yes.
like, oh, and you'll make a note.
Yeah.
And so that you definitely brought that more into my consciousness of like noticing when that happens, or like when a trailer's over, just like, oh, is it gonna happen? Date.
So do you care about dates now, or you
No.
just notice?
I'm
that
more
I
aware
do?
of it though.
Okay, all right.
And noticing, games that do take a long time to do that, and
Yeah.
and the danger of speculating that stuff and releasing that information too soon.
And I should say, to wrap up that conversation, we did get a date for Shadow of the Colossus, which is February 6th, and that's going to be a $40 game.
Hell yeah. So
There were a lot of December dates that I saw today, which I thought was nice. There's a lot of those games coming out before
For
the end of the
previously
year.
announced games. Yeah. It is now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
I'm actually going to start with the longest one I pulled. But I mean, listen to this first sentence. How could I not? Brazil is on fire and we need your help.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go. We have a problem here, and the Allies need to settle it. Do game reviewers need to prove that they have played a game? Some people are asking for the gamertag or PSN ID of any reviewer, trying to catch them saying, aha, you didn't play this game, or you didn't even play that other game. Are you a real gamer? Many journalists have made their profile private to make sure they're not used as fuel on this war. This all began when a massive YouTuber made a review of Uncharted 4, gave it a great score, but he had played it on Explorer difficulty, or at least finished it on this mode. It got even worse when Dean Takahashi posted that Cuphead gameplay from Gamescom, and he sucked at it. There's actually some YouTubers with huge followings making videos searching for gamertag PSN IDs of some reviewers / YouTubers and analyzing if they've played the game or not with an angry tone. They call it exposed. Some of them actually say that the other person is a bad journalist for playing it on easy because of their achievements on their personal profile. Is this fair? Do game journalists have to prove that they've played a game? Do they have to make their profile public? Love and respect, Marquez Zero, Mil Grau.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
For the I think. So for the first question, the literal question I'm asking.
Do they have to keep it public?
No. Do you have to prove you played a game? Yeah. You can just if someone asks you for proof you played a game, yeah, that should be that's the most basic level
How
of
often do you have
transparency.
to prove you play? How often is you as a reviewer down there? Have you had to prove that you've played a game?
Stream it or something. Just do something that shows you know how to you can play it.
Every
I'm not
reviewer
talking
has
about
to
skill.
stream the game?
No, but if asked, show you have a copy. Show just show your save file. Just show something that you prove that you played it. I'm not talking about you're good at it, that you even completed it. But if there's probable cause for someone you wrote that review without actually playing the game, you're BSing us. That has happened in the past. There are people who have written reviews based off preview builds or stuff because they don't get the review copy or whatever or whatever situation. That yes, if that comes up, you should.
So Damiani, you're one of these guys who is
no.
making an exposed video.
No,
You're going up and checking out profiles.
I'm so sorry, Brad.
My Red Bull.
Sorry. No worries.
Don't say sorry. I got you worked up. Don't switch to apologetic.
Sorry for spilling.
Yeah.
For this very unique situation.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm making everyone like wipe up my mess and stuff. I'm really sorry.
It's okay, though.
No, stay mad.
Okay, for this one specific situation, yes, this is the only situation. Everything else in that like pisses me off.
Whoa.
Like, you should not playing it on whatever difficulty you play on. You should be transparent about what difficulty you played on, but that does not make that review any less valid. Like that
Agreed.
So if I played through Uncharted on Explorer
I
mode,
don't care. If you just say that you did.
Yes.
So as a viewer, like, okay, he played it on easy mode. I don't care what you have to say.
Yeah.
That lets them decide. But like, you cannot go and say your opinion is trash. Like, you cannot. I mean, you can, but like, I think you're being ignorant when you do that. Like that's mean spirited. Like, someone who's playing it on easy difficulty and they're talking about maybe the story, or whatever, like, just know the context of what they're talking about, like, have that frame of mind, and that's still a valid point. I think this...
Brad, would you read a review from someone who played through Uncharted 4 on Explorer difficulty?
Yeah, there's a million reviews out there. I wouldn't care.
So it doesn't make the review irrelevant?
Irrelevant?
Yeah.
No, why would it?
Because that's not the game. The game's about shooting.
It's in the... I mean, you're shooting. Oh, well,
I think
if you
you
say,
nailed
like,
it,
yeah, you're playing on Explorer, like, okay... They're telling how they reviewed it. That's fine.
I kind of think if you played on such a different game mode, you should mention it early in your review.
Yeah, absolutely. You should.
yeah.
Like if you played Cuphead all on easy or whatever, because you skip a lot of the phases. I
don't think you can even beat Cuphead on easy. I think like there's moments you can't.
Yeah,
progress
to get all the bosses, I think you have to play on normal.
Yeah.
Well, like, yeah, I think you should say it if you do it on that, especially like if someone's playing Call of Duty and they played it on easy for their review.
Yeah.
I don't care.
They don't have
doesn't
to
matter.
mention it.
Why? I mean, Call of Duty, you just take less damage probably.
Sure.
So I mean,
So yeah, I mean yes, there is a difference between easy and Call of Duty and Explorer.
like it's not
on
actively
Uncharted 4,
changing huge parts of the game that I'm aware of.
It also, I mean, this is where you need to be an informed consumer, or consumer of like media, in that you should, like, if they say they played it on Explorer difficulty, whatever the heck the easiest difficulty is in Uncharted, then when you're listening or reading their review, if they're talking about like complex gameplay mechanics, yes, you're like, okay, how can you really speak to those in depth if you didn't really experience much of what the game had to offer on that difficulty? But if you're talking more about like the story, the set pieces,
The music,
like,
the acting, the writing.
you need to. Like, that's why
backgrounds,
this is
the
like the
set
biggest
design,
biggest argument for why you should read or watch the damn review before you get to the score. And because you need to understand what they're saying about it.
Sure.
Take it, like, process that, and then go from there. So if someone did review it on the easiest difficulty and they're not complaining about the shooting mechanics or whatever, they don't really talk about them. To you, you're like, all right, I need to go somewhere. You need to be like, I need to go somewhere else to know how good they are. This person isn't the place for that. But hey, they did experience the story and all this other stuff. They say it's fantastic. You don't need to be good at shooting games to tell me that a story is good or bad or not. So that's like the whole thing about being, like having good, like, efficacy is the term, like having knowledge and insight into like the subject matter to be able to like fully comprehend it.
Yeah, and I actually think there is value to a review written from that perspective, written from I played this on the easiest difficulty. Let's handle the other part. Should you three as reviewers have public profiles?
No.
Why not?
There's so many reasons not to.
Be honest, Jones.
I might not be able to be honest by the code that I have or something that I have been given access to that I can't tell you about. Like some of those things last for a long time, years of betas and alphas and stuff that go on, and this is just like nothing shady. It's like I'm playing the game, like I'm playing like.
So you're under embargo. People can't know you're playing.
Like I'm doing a public
right?
version of that, which is Fortnite, which is an early access, so I don't feel good giving that a review score yet. It hasn't technically come out, So I'm waiting until that early access banner goes away, and then I'm going to do a big review. But I've been playing Fortnite this whole time. It's just everyone else can because you just go to the PSN store and you buy in.
It's fair. There's a practical reason why reviewers can't have.
But there might be other games
public,
that are multiplayer focused that are coming out that have alphas or betas way in advance that last for a long, long time, and they slowly bring different people in, to test stuff out. So there's so many reasons why my account would have to. I might have several accounts with different things on different consoles or whatever. Yeah, to have to manage that stuff. I think one thing that I want to comment on, you made a really good point, is you said, quoting somebody who might be bringing up this argument that like that's not how you review that game, or that's not what that game is about. Uncharted, it's about shooting. I think the idea that there is one way to review a game is not a good idea. I think that's you need to like open your mind up a little bit more and understand that like that means I don't want to hear a review written by a disabled person. That means I don't want to read a review written by an older person. That means I don't want to read a review read by the first video game someone has ever played. You know, what if someone's first game ever was Super Mario Odyssey? And you're like, well, they need to have played all the other Mario games, so that completely invalidates this review. I would love to hear that review.
Yeah?
As long as you were upfront about that perspective. As long as the headline said, my first video game ever was Mario Odyssey, and I thought it was cool. I'm like, okay, now I have that context
But what if that
going
person
into
gives
that
it a
score.
2? And what if it's on Metacritic?
If it was just that person on a blog somewhere, I don't want to go attack that person. If it was like a big publisher, if it was someone like us or like other people that have been reviewing games for years, if not decades, that just kind of slipped in a review randomly, and you're like, wait a minute, you go into the fine print and it seems kind of weird and fuzzy and not, transparent, then that would raise some eyebrows.
But do you think it...
But if you have a YouTuber that is extremely upfront about what they're doing, and this is my take, like I like to play, I think some people are the complete opposite of that. Some people play games on the absolute hardest difficulty every time. That would be a really interesting YouTube channel to follow. A person's like, I want this game to punish me, kind of like the completionist. Like, I'm going all in on this.
Yeah.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, I'd be interested in that too. It's like, I'm going to try every game's easy mode and see if I care. See, I'm going to play the easy mode on Cuphead and see if that was enough for me.
Yeah.
Because I literally am too young or just don't have enough time to play games or just am not good at them. But I'm still a human being and I still have an opinion. So as long as I'm upfront about that stuff, I not only think it's okay to do reviews like that, I think they add wonderful diversity to the whole process of a bunch of people weighing in on one score.
Brad, what is your PSN profile? Would you hate it? Would you hate it if the public would go through your trophies and see like, oh, Brad's not that good?
Yeah, until I see all my Souls Platinums.
Yeah, I know. It's not really relevant with Brad.
Then I'm just like, that's right.
And Kingdom Hearts Platinums. It's like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, just one.
Oh, just one?
Yeah, those weren't that fun to
So
do.
you're not a true fan, huh?
I guess not in that sense.
I guess Bradley Ellis isn't a professional.
You can't play this game to the platinums.
Kingdom Hearts 3 score is invalid, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's kind of, to me, like a horrifying prerequisite that journalists should keep their profiles public so everybody can see exactly how many trophies they have in certain games. But on the other side, I do think they should be upfront about certain things in their reviews.
For sure. Disclosure.
Yeah.
Always
Transparency
important.
as much as
Yes.
possible.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of ways to handle that, which is kind of interesting.
Which is why I kind of like Patreon, because when we post a review, we get that one extra chance to write an additional blurb on top of our review.
Yeah.
So I like doing that just for our patrons. Where
What kind of blurbs do you write?
Well, Gears. I gave Gears 3.5 stars, and that pissed off a lot of Gears fans. And so I try to let people know. Obviously, I worded that in the review, but we don't necessarily have a lot of I in our reviews. We try to have a broad opinion.
So in the blurb, you went to I.
So in the blurb, I was like, here's my experience. I did not play Judgment. I did not play 3. It's been a while since I've revisited this franchise, and so these were my expectations, and here's what I thought. So transparency when you can, but just anytime you want going into my profile. Going through stuff potentially.
Yeah.
Like for example, right now, I think it was still from Shadow of War. I think I never turned it back on, but I was in the shadows for a while on PSN because I was playing Shadow of War.
Oh yeah.
They
gotta
mandate that
delist
sometimes.
yourself. Damiani, you're squinting, man.
I just want to add it, I don't know how much of an issue it is nowadays, but during the last generation and generations before, sort of the count stuff on PS3 and 360, behind pulling the curtain behind the review process in the industry back in the day, we used to have to review a lot of stuff on debug units provided to us by by Microsoft and Sony. And you cannot use commercial accounts on there. You cannot bring your account to play that game. The save data was not even compatible between the commercial version of a system and the debug units we had to use. So for that very reason, you would play an entire game to completion on the debug unit, and then that was it. You cannot take that save data home with you onto your own system and continue. If you bought that game or wanted to play more, you had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And then on your profile, you're like, I already beat this game. I'm not going to play through it. So your profile would show I either never played it or
barely played it.
But on the debug, and you're not allowed to. We're not allowed to show
I think
that
the
stuff.
question is more targeted toward YouTube reviewers than the big shots. Like
Yeah,
game trailers
I mean
was
the
and
thing.
IGN
I agree
was.
with you though. It sets a very dangerous precedent that you to start profiling reviewers based on trophies and stuff because you're not getting the full story there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different reasons, like Jones was alluding to, why you might not have done something like this. I mean, as long as you're upfront about it and you can prove it.
Yeah.
I think, to me personally, the save data is the most important thing. If people come after you, you just provide the save data.
Have you done this before?
There was one review I did at Game Trailers where people said I did not. Not only did I not play the game, they're like, you didn't even they're like, you barely touched this game. And I had to present my save file of completing it, and then I did have the trophy for beating it. I took a screenshot of that and I posted it. I was basically like Chad Warren, so like, guess who's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, because I was so angry at people. I was like, I beat this. Like,
What is the game? What are we talking about right here?
Might have been.
Is it like a Tales game?
No. It was some Sony JRPG game.
Folklore?
I'll look it up or something if people really want to know. But it was a game that was like kind of obscure, so I can't remember it.
White Knight Chronicles?
No, Patrick Morales reviewed that game.
Oh, okay.
Something else. All I know is I got
What's his profile?
Basically, yeah, I got called in. Like Miguel called me in.
See the same
Miguel
status on White
Lopez
Knight.
called me in. A reviews editor is like, hey, some people are like, this is like people are like claiming this stuff in the comments and stuff. I said like, I'll be back like tomorrow. Like we'll talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Brought my system in. I was like, here you go. It's like, here's save file and everything. I was like, by the way, look how long this is. There's no way I went home and beat it, by the way. Because I was like, people go, oh, you went home and beat it. Like, yeah, I beat like a 40-plus hour game from scratch in less than a day. I was like, here you go.
The old Game Trailers comments used to be a little nasty. Used to be
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
fierce in
Like,
there.
but
yeah.
they also didn't know who reviewed them most of the
Mm-hmm.
time. So we were shielded from a lot of that. But, a lot of that stuff in that question, like, I mean, if people want to make a show about that, sure, that's cool. But, like, I kind of think it's like, that's like reality TV. When you're like, Damiani, you definitely watch reality TV or something like this.
Yeah.
That's why I would never watch a show like this, because it's stupid. Like,
What?
what?
Well, how does that relate to this?
Like, this is like reality television
No, it's
quality
not.
to me. Yeah, it is.
What? Why?
It's like you know, like easy.
Oh, you
like,
mean
well,
the videos, the
Yeah,
exposed
yeah,
videos.
yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
exposed.
Okay,
Well, what do you
I
think
was-
I was saying?
We were just talking about you having to prove that you had a save file.
No, yeah, I know we were, but I was
Yeah.
like, I said these types of videos,
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah.
are referring to like the
Like looking up the reviewers.
Yeah.
Could be a new show though. Damiani proves it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Look at Damiani's save files. Do you think we doused the flames over Brazil?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope we fix
me
that
too.
one. Yeah. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for the question. It is
Spicy.
now time for bets. Next week's bet, Call of Duty World War II, releases Friday, November 4th. We're going to start an unranked team deathmatch. Walk forward with the left analog stick. How long will we survive?
35 seconds.
Okay, Michael Damiani,
17 seconds.
Bradley Ellis.
15 seconds.
Oh, and I had 31 seconds.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Going high.
Goes in.
I
Okay.
hope we get nestled into a nice little tunnel there.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Hope you get a
Wait
good
it
nap.
out. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And like
Just
team
hit a rock.
deathmatch, you get a
You
little
walk
better
into a
chance.
vehicle, so you're like
Yeah.
protected for a while.
Yeah,
Fingers
okay.
crossed.
Okay. Last week's bet was about Don wrote this one, very good. Assassin's Creed Origins, Super Mario Odyssey, and Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, which all came out last Friday together on October 27th. We went to OpenCritic. We looked at the most recent review for all three games, which would have the most words, which would have the least, and what would the difference be in that word count. Jones, you said Assassin's Creed would have the most. I'll go through these. Ian said Mario Odyssey would have the most. Blood said Mario Odyssey would have the most. Don said Wolfenstein 2 would have the most, and I said Mario Odyssey would have the most. When it came to least, Jonesy said Wolfenstein 2 would have the least. Ian said Wolfenstein 2 would have the least. Blood said Wolfenstein 2 would have the least. Don said Assassin's Creed would have the least, and I said Assassin's Creed would have the least. Here we go. The actual... no, I'll just go through these. Okay, here we go. Assassin's Creed Origins, the most recent review, had 986 words. Okay. Mario Odyssey, the most recent review, has 1,248 words.
Oh, okay.
Wolfenstein 2, the most recent review, has 1,157 words, which means the most words is Mario Odyssey, and the least words is Assassin's Creed Origins, which means that I win the bet. Me.
My God.
Oh, does that feel good, Kyle? How does it feel? Let them know how you truly feel.
Man, that was so loud. I'm sorry, everyone.
How
who's
long have you
wearing
been holding that
headphones.
in, Kyle?
Like I'm on his team and I don't feel good about that.
Oh man, I know.
I'll tell you what that means.
I'm leaning into it. You
feeling better, Kyle?
The
Feeling better?
difference, no, I feel awful. The difference is 262 words, just for anybody who was keeping track. So I was even close on that. Purple Platypi 19 So good. Red Eagles 25. I did forget to do that last time.
You did.
We're all
Correct.
caught up. We're 25 points, Jones. Brad, how'd you do on your goal this week? Being a good
A good boy doesn't say hell, and I said hell yeah.
Oh.
Oh no.
We're talking
Wow,
real
you are
innocent.
hard on yourself,
Real
man.
innocent.
Wow.
Okay.
There's
Sophie
titles
said
of
hell a
book.
couple times, and she's a good girl. So I don't.
Like I'm talking like we went beyond like the 6-year-old. That was like a 12-year-old.
Okay, you're right. You're right. 6-year-olds don't say hell. Damiani, how'd you do on your goal of finishing that water?
That last big gulp right before.
Nice.
Knocked it
Good gulp.
out of the park.
Brendan Jones, how'd you do on your goal? What was your goal?
Not to not burp. I don't think I did.
I don't think you.
I don't think you
Yeah,
did.
That was the
Jones.
time when I went to check the video. That was the time to do it,
Yeah.
or get my
A
podcast
little
halftime
secret
cards.
burp over there.
I'll never tell.
And then I totally sold it. I think everybody's pretty convinced that I'm very healthy right now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, all that chest grabbing
something.
for anyone who
Yeah, you're pretty
is
good
not
actor,
watching
Kyle.
the video.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think about that. Like, if an actor is sick one day, you've lost millions.
Insurance.
That's
Yeah.
I guess you get insured for that. Yeah. That's
Now all
crazy.
you got to do is play horror games for 6 hours, and then you get to rest.
Yeah. Do I even? Let's talk about patreon.com/Easy Allies, which is how the Easy Allies make things like this, make videos like this, make podcasts like this. We do live streams. We do previews. We do reviews. We do tabletop games. We do all sorts of things on Easy Allies, youtube.com/Easy Allies. So check out easyallies.com. It's the destination. You can find out about Patreon there. You can find out about our Twitch there. You can find out about our YouTube there. And we've got our schedule there in your time zone. It's all pretty simplified. So that is it. That's the promotional portion of the show. It is now upon myself to do the 4 things at the end of the show, which is I have the right and responsibility to share my Twitter handle. I have to promote any Easy Eyes video I would like to promote. I get the final word on anything I've disagreed with or simply want to reiterate throughout this entire podcast. And I get to sign off with my trademark sign off. So, my Twitter handle is @KyleBossman, and like last time I won, I will vow to do a tweet within the next 7 days. We'll do it. The video I'd like to promote. How's Souls Retrospective Part 3?
It's good. It should be in people's hands before, definitely before this goes public.
Okay.
By the time this goes to patrons, it may be still coming, but
Okay.
if
Wait,
you were
which is
listening to
sooner,
this,
Souls Part 3 or the next Game Sleuth?
Souls Part 3.
Okay, so I'll promote Souls.
Was that an attempt at
Is that a
humor,
Game
Kyle?
Sleuth dig or a retro dig or both? I
That's
can't
a
tell.
Game Sleuth dig.
Yeah, okay, Kyle.
I will. Brad, the Souls Retrospective is the real deal, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And so
I'm not
this
gonna be
is-
like, yeah, it's the real deal,
I
dude.
need you
got
to
to.
say
You
it's
gotta
the
do it.
real deal,
It's the
dude.
realest deal out there.
Yeah. This is if I'm a fan of Dark Souls, if I'm not a fan of Dark Souls, this gets me up. This gets me perspective on
Yep.
where each of these games exists. Dark Souls 2 is the next episode.
Correct.
Everyone's least favorite.
Mostly yes.
Is the episode going to touch on that, or is it just going to say
I
this game's
do
good?
talk about that. Yes.
You do.
It has some of the heaviest opinions I think I've ever read out loud in a retro script ever.
Yeah.
Which is funny because even like the Star Wars retro, you're like, and this game came out on the Game Boy. It's like that's clearly bad.
I usually, yeah. Well, like I would usually be like, reviewers thought this, and
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that
yeah.
Brad's like, this part's bad. It's like, yeah. Take those gloves off. Let's do it.
yeah,
but
it's part of the Dark Souls story.
huge
you know?
episode, lots
Yeah.
to talk about in 2 and the 3 expansions after, and it's a big meaty episode.
Oh yeah, the first Souls with DLC.
No.
Oh,
Dark Souls 1 had DLC.
really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Artorias of the
I'm all
Abyss.
caught up. I know all this stuff now.
Which one had the king? Something of the king.
That was 2.
That's
Okay,
2.
okay.
The crowns.
Yeah.
The crowns. Okay, the final word I would like to use to say that ghosts are not real. And my trademark sign off, tomorrow is forever all ours.
I am enjoying these microtransactions. The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Ebb Software, Elfanis, Hogue Law, iKeyless, Jigarbov Productions, Jojo Dentco, King Art Games, Mango. Greg Kettering, Pixel Perfect Polygons. Nick, Walker Hope, Cameron Hendry, Will Schmuck, Michael Kozachenko. Professor Metal Gear, Bradley Spees, Caleb Aranda, Zachary Wingate, John Tyson, Ken Layer, Beaten Down Brian, Silent Consonant, Andrew Reif, Sigma, Dan Sebring, Tim O'Keefe, Ruckus, Robert Stoffel, Corey Jackson, Richard Smuts, Samuel Justice, Jake Musser, Andrew Bailey, Anti-Ataraxia, Richard G. Flowers, Yobuds, Michael Bisegli, Caden Geist, Demos Clay, Chom Nguyen, Dave Red, Thomas Wigginton Jr., Neil Bruce, Jared Reif, 44 Stars, Marius Smith, Matthew Pauling, Gino A. Leet, Carl Williams, Jason A. Sackle, Candy Coated Thorns, G. Levin, Charles Anthony Iapicino, G. Ken, Hitman 47, Ryan Anderson, Nick Owens, Colt Doss, Paul Nolson, Cody Harden, Jay Shee, Guru017, Mark Bianchin, Phoenix Doss, Akira Sendo, Lee Young, Andrew Kidd, Thomas Gonzalez, Peter Davis, Hudson Bilbrey, Rack, Brad Lohman, Gary Fair, Malphalax, Ian Santa Anna, Mylene LaPearl Vanass, Tim Strothman, Caleb Crawford, DRD 7 of 14, Blue Suitor, Leanna Alexandru, Todd Yurkovic, Joe Burns, Patrick Chong, Sergio Ruben Hernandez Gallegos, Stephen Last, Ahmad Naki, Jesse Vitelli, The Banana Forklift Killer, Rob Middledorp, Joachim Morovuo, Gustav Strombaum, Kelvin Hartanto, Marcel Markov, Mark J. Betters II, Nefertiti Jenkins, Joel Olson, David Wen, Joel Short, Oni Blackmage, Luke Arnold, Matthew Holcomb, Daryl Schramm, Brent Phillips, Bobby Sandino, Matthew Robles, Catherine Lai, Gary James, Bear Watson, Ian Bradburn, Robert Crouch, Mikhail Aniel, Sean Clinton, Sven Von Brand, Ulf himself, Trenton Robeson, John Prey, By Manis, V8 Dave, Janny Markula, Ritz 1906, Joseph Caruso, Fabian Schuster, The Solar Sailor, Mikkel Bach Sorensen, Jesper Lawson, Luis Ibarra, Tony Knox, C-Note 51, I Sun Chor, Forrest, Caleb Ledoux, Mike Hook 1, Thomas Einsporn, Bry Guy, Jamie Jackman, Xylo Wolfbane, Quick Scares, Alexander Schiller, The Classiest Hobo, Boris Scherl, Captain Fancy Pants, Michael Eaton, Zintrax, Modren, Paul Bishop, Sean Smith, Travis Miosi, Trey Whetstone, Adam Damond, Matt McCarthy, Sean Mackey, Yasser Aluseni, Leroy Anderson, Jonas Andreas Sibison, Reed Johnson, Freddie Fingers 26, Manuel Thomas, Peter Nguyen, Luke Bennett, Eric Copen, Adam Scherenbrock, Not Jack, Kurzistav Rogowski, Kevin McMaster, Allison Burnt, Anna Lancaster, Bjornar Haraldsvik, Sean De Almeida, Chris Sleep, Saturn, Ace Jackson 777, Jacob Whittington, Charlie, Wouter DeHaze, Michael Favacci, Eric Maynard, Fabian Winkler, Cartridge Brothers, Renee Klut, Bernardo Del Castillo, Leon Keys, Mugen Hamura, Raymond Lee, Yasser Kerbushi, Clay Roberts, Todd Paxton, Faraz Rizvi, Dakota Hayes, Zoostick, Don Turner, Mumble Mumbleton, Masuki 211, Kyle Bradford, Jesse Fish, Shino Bazu, Jason Joint, Edison S. Prada Jr., Alexander Breveglieri, Travis Ing, Ahmad Al-Rashed, Tuttle, Beth, Furious Action Gamer, Jonathan and Amy Alconis, Stuart Siddall, Reiner Lip, Michael Shriver, G-Sith, Mac Reed, Connor Ross, Matt Gunther, Evan Eng, Joshua Vanswall, Eric Gustafson, Refill, Sebastian Trier, Samsa Stormbaum, Bonnie and Jason Connor, Alex AI, Jeffrey Daniel Lasley, Stephen Walther, Rock Gordon, Carla Zuniga, Diggles, Ryan Cohen, Adam Mullaney, Link666 Goron, Terrence Ireland, Simon Gauthier, Momo Rashid, M. Legend, Breadroll Art, Peds, Justin Wenderoth, Calgareth, Eddie Reisner, Chase Caldwell, Andrew Buchter, Palkin Stirs and Stirs, Barry, Mikey Mizek Novak, Adam Henry, Beautiful Kai, Mac Jam, Ronnie, Caffeine Rage, David Kennedy, Durgesh Patel, Kenneth Procius, Mike Calvi, Sarah, Anthony Daniel Galvin, Benny Samuelson, Trolls Rasmussen, Daniel Wong, Jameson Anderson, Vincent Foliat, Hutchitron, Ahab, Neobear, Rainier Dennis Bautista, Michael Pisano, Tetra Ninja, Quinn Gary, Alex Glass, Junya Motomura, Mithers Strongbeard, Nycrypt, Mons Anderson, Elvin Skogheim, Jay Aldair, Kevin DeBolt, Morgan Worth, Tom Masterman, Sam Sorensen, Matt Ferguson, Michael Tennick, William Heaney, Krister Lundmark, Chris the Pianist, Michelle Nubb, Sandra and Richard Acero, David Tran, Mike Malloy, Adam Barker, Philip Klarskov Jensen, Niels Frederick Elbol, Sun Pham, Thomas Clover, Alex Monaco, Arthur Henrique Chinaglia, Nuno Amaral, Galen Moxley Haggard, Twisted Heart, David Boyarsky, Rajiv Maharaj, Toasty Soul, Sean McGing, Pete Cerny, Daggeth, Joachim Wiederberg, Christopher Santis, Marco Flores, Adam Handrick, Tarek Leham, Christian Hundorf, Andreas Koter, Egg Stravaganza, Gali Gutierrez, Addison Muir, The Fatty Show, Remy Loisel, Jordan Kirk, Christopher Dixon, Ali Douglas, Peter Shoemaker, Repus Edud, Irvin De La Torre, Cyberboa, Christoph Fatui, Azazel Valkyrie, G.W. Fox, Christopher Foss, Outcast Rider, Chris Bennett, Liam Ahern, Helping Leon, Jean-Sebastian B., Self-Confessed Cynic, V. Kira Ray, Tristan Howard, Jeremiah Snowden, Materia Addict, Robert I., Blaster Master, Elizabeth, Miguel Rivas, Alex Lavanier, Justin Wren, Malcolm Moschette, Adam, Robert Ori Einerson, Christopher Donnelly, Matt Karwoski, Marco Hernandez, Gabriel Heilborn, Andrew Amos, Struggler, Tense George, Bunny Chen, Joey and Kate, Wavering Radiant, Raymond Chow, Caffeinade, Ian Anderson, DanPan16, Tongue Surgery, C.S. Lewis, Hasney, Orugachino, Jana, Roy Sung, Kim Monk Vonderleith Haagensen Petersen, Colin Hoylman, Reed Marlett, Ali Khan Sunger, Shanley Ladia, Dale A. Brule, Kyle, Rerun, Arkham Fantasy, Rosamoon, Philip Higdon, John Ivar Carlson, Spencer Stevens, Russell Bateman, Rory McGuire, Elliot Moscow, Daniel Fuchs, Ivan Ponce, Christopher A. Butler, Adam Warzak, Sean Essen, Sebastian Urban, Marco Zanone, Alec Church, Culinary Stud, Michael Yao.